Rawteur. Let's kick things off with S. Darko, the 2009 sequel to the cult classic Donnie Darko. Now, if you're scratching your head wondering, wait, there was a Donnie Darko sequel? You're not alone. I just found out too. S. Darko follows Donnie's little sister, Samantha, who apparently inherited her brother's, time-bending abilities? Look, I'm as confused as you are. The original Donnie Darko was this mind-bending cult hit that will have first-time viewers Googling what the heck did I just watch for weeks. But as Darko, it's like they took all the weirdness of the original and forgot to add any of the substance. Even Richard Kelly, the mastermind behind the original, wanted nothing to do with this sequel. He hasn't even watched it, but if you do, I have a link to this movie and all of the others I mentioned in the description below. Next up, we've got Cyborg 2. You might be thinking, hey, wasn't that a Van Damme movie? Well, yes, and no. The original Cyborg was indeed a Jean-Claude Van Damme vehicle, but the sequel, it starred a young Angelina Jolie. That's right, before she was Lara Croft or Maleficent, Jolie was kicking butt as a cyborg. But don't feel bad if you missed it, pretty much everyone did. It's like the cinematic equivalent of that embarrassing high school photo you hope nobody ever finds. The movie's about as 90s as you can get, with CGI that looks like it was rendered on a Commodore 64. That's what that is. But hey, if you ever wanted to see Angelina Jolie play a self-aware android, this is your chance. Remember The Butterfly Effect? That movie where Ashton Kutcher time traveled by reading his old diaries? Well, somebody thought that concept needed a sequel. Enter The Butterfly Effect 2. Now, you might be wondering, did Ashton Kutcher return for this epic follow-up? No. They replaced him with some guy. The movie went straight to DVD, probably because even the studio knew they'd created a temporal paradox of badness. The plot is something about a guy changing the past to save his girlfriend. Honestly, it's like they took the original concept and ran it through Google Translate a few times. The only butterfly effect this movie had was making the original look like a masterpiece in comparison. Notable mention, they actually made a third movie, if you can believe it. Alright 80s kids, remember WarGames? That awesome movie where Matthew Broderick almost started World War III with his home computer? Well, in 2008, someone decided we needed a sequel. WarGames: The Dead Code. This direct-to-DVD gem swaps out Broderick for a new teen hacker and Whopper for Ripley? Yeah, they actually named the AI after Sigourney Weaver's character from Alien. Very bold choice. The movie tries to update the original's concept for the age of counterterrorism, but it's about as exciting as watching someone defrag their hard drive. It's less, shall we play a game, and more, can we turn this game off now? In order for you to decode this next film, you'll need to like and subscribe to the channel. Not really, but I'd appreciate it. Let's talk about Lawnmower Man 2, Beyond Cyberspace. The original Lawnmower Man was this trippy dive into virtual reality that had almost nothing to do with Stephen King's story. But the sequel, it's like they took whatever coherence the first movie had and tossed it into a digital wood chipper. They replaced Jeff Fahey with Matt Frewer as Job, the Lawnmower Man turned cyber god. The result? A movie that looks like someone filmed a screensaver and added explosions. It's less beyond cyberspace and more beyond comprehension. Now here's a sequel that took its sweet time. It Came from Outer Space 2 arrived a whopping 43 years after the original. Talk about playing the long game. The original was this cool 3D movie based on a Ray Bradbury story. The sequel, well, it's got outer space in the title, so there's that. It was a made-for-TV movie that looks like it was made for about $3.50 and a pack of gum. It's less, it came from outer space, and more, it came from the bargain bin. If aliens really were watching us, this movie probably made them decide to skip Earth entirely. And apparently, so did streaming services and archivers, because I can't find this movie anywhere. If you can find this movie to stream, a DVD, anything, please let me know. Moving on to 2010, the year we make contact. This is the sequel to Stanley Kubrick's mind-bending masterpiece 2001: A Space Odyssey. And boy, does this have some really big moon boots to fill. While 2001 left us questioning the nature of humanity and our place in the universe, 2010 is more like a space soap opera. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad movie, it's just not 2001. It's like following up the Mona Lisa with a pretty good finger painting. The movie actually got decent reviews when it came out and went on to get 5 Oscar nominations, but over time, it faded faster than Dave Bowman's spacesuit. These days, it's mostly remembered as that sequel to 2001 that exists. Remember The Cell, that visually stunning movie where Jennifer Lopez goes into the mind of a serial killer? Well, somebody thought we needed a sequel. Enter The Cell 2, a movie so forgettable even the original's director, Tarsem Singh, pretends it doesn't exist. Gone are the stunning visuals and J-Lo. Instead, we get a movie that looks like it was filmed on a camcorder. It's less diving into the mind of a killer and more wading through the shallow end of direct-to-DVD filmmaking. The original Cocoon was this heartwarming tale about elderly folks finding a fountain of youth thanks to some friendly aliens. It was a hit. So naturally, Hollywood said, let's do it again. Cocoon: The Return brings our senior citizens back to Earth. And that's about it. It's like they took the charm of the original, put it in a retirement home, and forgot to visit. The movie's not terrible, it's just there. Kind of like that veggie meatloaf your aunt sends every Christmas that nobody actually eats. Now, the original Starship Troopers was this brilliant satire that a lot of people didn't get at first. It was like 90210 meets 1984 with giant bugs. The sequel, well, it's got the bugs and soldiers, and that's about it. All the biting satire of the original is replaced with, well, just biting. It's less fascism is bad and more bugs are bad. Another notable mention is Starship Troopers 3, and these are 11 sci-fi gems you may have overlooked that I think you'd actually enjoy.